Hi, this is Jamie, and I'm going to take you through a breathing sequence. So we're going to start by first bringing attention to the diaphragm, which is going to be right along the rib cage. Then take our attention to the psoas area, which is near the belly button. And then take our hands to the front of the pelvis, to the iliacus area. And then lastly, take our attention to the pec muscle, which is up by the rib cage and shoulder. So I like to do this resting on my back. So go ahead and rest on your back. Your knees can be bent or straight, whatever's comfortable. Or if you even like one knee bent, that can work too. So we'll first start by taking your fingertips right along the edge of the rib cage. And I like to start with the hands a little bit closer towards the center. You don't need to bring your hands directly into the center. There's a bone there called the xiphoid process, which we want to stay away from. So just to the right and left side of the inside of the ribs here. So the fingers come right on the edge of the rib cage. And as you breathe in, I'd like you to feel that the diaphragm moves down into your fingers. And then as you exhale, maybe even allow the fingers to curl a little bit underneath the rib cage. So again, as you inhale, the fingers get pushed out. And as you exhale, the fingers maybe curl under. And then consider moving your hands a little bit out to the side. So you're moving away from the center, and again, as you breathe in, the belly fills up with air, the diaphragm moves down, and then as you exhale, the diaphragm curls underneath. You can maybe even grab a hold of the ribs if that feels comfortable for you. Make sure to let the fingers soften as you breathe in, so you're not resisting the movement of your diaphragm down in your belly filling up with air. And then move your hands up one more time. And then again, as you breathe in, fingers move out, belly fills up with air, and then as you exhale, maybe grab a hold of the ribs. So we're just feeling the rhythm of the diaphragm here. If using your fingers is getting tiresome or it's uncomfortable in any way, you can just rest your hands on your rib cage and feel how the belly fills up with air. Then feel how the belly recoils as you exhale. Then just relax your hands and just breathe. See if you can connect to what the diaphragm does as you breathe into the belly. And then the next area is you're going to take your index finger and your middle finger to your belly button. And come about an inch out to the side. And as you breathe in, the belly is going to move up into your fingers. And then as you exhale, I want you to keep your belly soft and try to sink your fingers down, and you might be able to touch the psoas. You might even feel a heartbeat. And then same as we did before. So as you exhale, soften the belly, push your fingers down, maybe touch something in your belly. Maybe you don't feel anything, and that's okay too. Don't forget to soften the fingers as you breathe in, so the belly rises up into the fingers. And you're not resisting the belly rising up with your fingers. If you do feel a heartbeat, I often joke that you're not pregnant, but instead it's actually an artery in your belly, likely the iliac artery. And for me, I only feel it on the left side, not on the right side. And then relax your hands. Notice your breath. And the intention is with each of these releases that the breath can be felt maybe a little deeper into the belly. Maybe even felt all the way into the pelvis would be the goal. And then take your fingers to the front of your pelvis. I like to use index fingers and middle finger. And take your fingers to the bony part of the front of your pelvis. And then the fingers just come right inside those bones. And as you breathe in, can you direct your breath and can you fill the belly all the way up to where your fingers are at? And then as you exhale, maybe you can curl your fingers in and underneath that bone. Again, if this is too much for your fingers, your hands, you can just rest your hands right by those bones and then breathe in. The belly expands, the rib cage expands, maybe even the breath expands all the way into the pelvis. I'm going to do one more breath. And then release your arms at your sides. Notice your breath. See even here if you can feel the breath all the way into the pelvis, maybe even the floor of the pelvis. So as you breathe in, the area of where your sit bones are located expands towards your feet. And then as you exhale, the area recoils towards your head. If you're having a hard time feeling the breath move into the belly, consider placing your hands on your belly or even place a block or something light on your belly so you can see the rise and fall of your breath. The last place we're going to work is the pec area. So you're going to take your fingers to right on the outside of if you're wearing a sports bra or a tank top. If you're not wearing that, it's going to be to the front of the rib cage. And it's going to maybe be a little tender when you poke. So as you breathe in, again, can you direct the breath into your belly and also feel a lift in your chest at the end of your inhale. And then as you exhale, can you sink your fingers down as the rib cage descends. And again, if the fingers are tired or it's too uncomfortable, you can just place your hand to this area and feel the rise and fall, the rise on the inhale, and the fall on the exhale of your rib cage. You can also move the fingers around a little bit. So the muscles we're working are the pec major and pec minors. We're just bringing attention to them. And so if you're not quite finding the spot that's tender, you can work there. If you want to stay away from tender spots, you can move away from that. And one more breath. And switch to the other side. So take your opposite hand to your opposite front of your rib cage. Again, if you're wearing a tank top or a sports bra, it makes it a little bit easier to orientate. This can be to the front of the pelvis or to the front of the pec area, front of the rib cage. And as you breathe in, let the breath move all the way down into the pelvis. And then even at the end of the in-breath, when you feel a lift of your rib cage into your fingers, and as you exhale, you sink your fingers down. A few more breaths here.
hand. So just rest your palms rotate up towards the ceiling. See if you can direct the breath into all of the places that we worked with. See if you can feel the rise and fall of your belly and the rise and fall of your rib cage. And then to come out, go ahead and bend your knees up if they're not already. And roll over on to whichever side's most comfortable for you.
And then notice, once you're seated, if you can still maintain breathing into the belly, into the pelvis, and maybe even feel the rib cage expand. I hope this awareness of your breath has helped you feel a little bit more connected, have a better understanding of where the breath can possibly go. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you.